What's up, y'all? It's your boy Rain. Welcome to the RaineCast here on RaineCast Networks. Today, we have the beautiful and talented visual artist, La Bruja. Thank you for coming onto the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I looked at your art on your page on Instagram, and instantly I felt like attraction to like what you give off, the energy you present into your art. You're an amazing artist, basically. That's what I'm trying to say
thank
to you.
you. I appreciate
Definitely,
that.
definitely. But how did you start making art?
So I basically was an artist since 4 or 5 years old. My mom has always exposed me to art and creating, painting, anything that I can do with my hands. Art for me has been on and off throughout the years. So I created in middle school. It was on and off, and then in high school, I really wanted to try to like find my own style. So I think starting in 2018 was when everything started to really come to like grips with what I'm like meant to do. So starting at 2018 was when I really wanted to start my own style. And then 2020 is when I launched my business, La Bruja's Art.
Would you contribute that to COVID and the pandemic?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because you're in a house more and you like in your thoughts, right?
Yeah. I feel like you get to really ground yourself when you're still. And we was getting all that money from stimulus and all that.
Yeah.
So I kind of
art
like,
supplies.
I took all that money and basically invested in anything that I needed for my business. And I think from there it just was like fate. Everything just happened very naturally.
Okay, so 3 years later, now you're doing murals and stuff. Explain to me that, the Phoenix mural.
Yeah.
What was the process of like that? Like, how was that experience like?
It's really interesting. So the side wall of that wall is my godfather's business. So literally a year before that, so last year in November, he asked me to do a mural for him, but I really didn't think I was ready for it.
Not capable.
Yeah, like not really like, oh, like it's too big. Like it kind of intimidated me at first. So a year later, around the same time that he asked me last year, he was like, yo, so what's going on with that mural? So I just took that chance and just went with it, like with no fear. And it was really interesting because I started in October and then I ended in the end of November. So in October, it's still hot.
Yeah, fairly.
Yeah.
Throwing a sweater, you'll be all right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then in November, when it starts to get close to December, it gets really cold. So the whole process of it was kind of like me seeing me do the outline, feeling hot. And then the more I got into the mural, the more focused I was. It started to get cold. So it was like more so just very transformative, like the meaning of the phoenix too.
Definitely was a challenge, though, right, for you?
Yeah.
You'd say?
Yeah.
Like, how long did you spend, like, did you do it, like, for example, one day I would say I'll dedicate 2 hours to this, or, like, did you do, like, a whole day and then just...
So I also go to school and I work with kids too. So I would have to find days within the week where I'm not doing anything. So mostly like the weekends. So for Saturday and Sunday, I would get there at 9 and then leave at 5.
Wow. So basically 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
Doing that. That's dedication right there. But that wasn't your first mural though, right?
No, that's my second one, but it's the first one outside.
The first one outside. So it was like the weather it wasn't getting to you, but it made you determine, okay, although it's cold outside, I'm going to finish this, right?
Yeah, I had to because I despise the cold. Yeah, I can't stand that shit at all.
I hate wintertime. I'd rather summer. Even though I sweat a lot when it gets hot, I prefer the wintertime. I prefer summertime because it's like, everyone's, I feel like in a happy mood when it's hot outside. You feel me? So it's like my mood gets boosted. And some of the time it's like you get the winter blues sometimes.
Yeah, you kind of get like seasonal depression too. Like,
basically.
And the cold time is just not for me.
Yeah. But was there ever a point in time where you were scared to present your work to people or on social media?
Scared? I wouldn't say really scared. I would say more so I had doubt. Yeah.
About the reception?
Yeah, like from 2018 to 2020, I was really just more so in my thoughts in terms of like I carried my art like my baby. So it was very sacred to me. Like it helped me through a lot of healing that I had to do. So just even the thought of me sharing it to people was like, I don't really want people to see that part of me. But
that vulnerable side of you.
Yeah, and I'm a very like enclosed person. Like I'm very selective with who I share my information with and my feelings. So I just took that leap of faith.
I understand. So there's a connection between like your inner thoughts and your art, like it translate within itself.
Yeah, most definitely. I tend to find that a lot of my experiences stem from what I go through, like the people I interact with, and I just transmute it into my art. Like I can't really describe it into words. Words are really a disservice when it comes to that, but it really is just like I'm a medium to this. Like I just be a vessel.
Okay. So where are you from though?
So I was born and raised in Brooklyn, but my parents are Dominican.
Dominican, both mom and dad.
Yeah.
Okay, so has like your heritage played a part in your art?
I would like to believe so, yes. I consider myself Afro-Latina, and I feel like me being Afro-Latina is a big part in me representing a lot of people of color and like just artists. Like we need to see that a lot more. So any chance that I can get to represent that and put my art out there, I definitely would.
Okay. Definitely, like the representation is what you're really here for too. Not more so for you, but like kind of like, you know, putting the word out there. Like, okay, there's people of my color, of my race that are artistically talented.
Yeah.
And like with you putting the initiative forward and, you know, showcase your art, it empowers other people, more specifically females, women, to showcase their work as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like a lot of that just stems from my family as well. Like I'm the first artist, I guess.
But that's kind of taboo though. Like in a family that like is we like the first artist, like you should be going to school, you should be working. Art is not going to get you anywhere. Was there ever like a discussion in your family about your art?
When I was younger, I remember one time like my dad, I just told him, I was like, oh, I want to be an artist. He was like, you sure? So I was in my head, I was like, yeah, like I'm telling this to you like for a reason. Like this is something that I consider doing. Because like especially with just Caribbean like families, like you need to get a 9 to 5, you need to go to school. You need to. That's not gonna make you enough money. When it's like it could make you money, but it's that's really not the end goal. Like definitely. That's gonna come along with it. As long as you connecting with people, that's all that really matters through your art.
If that's your true passion, the money really shouldn't matter. That should come secondary, to be honest, because as an artist, like you said, transmuting your thoughts, translating your thoughts into canvas or to painting or to music or to art or to clothing, that's the gratitude that you receive. The money is like something that you get as a commission, basically. But as long as you make an art, you be fine. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's the most beautiful part about it, because art is like a self-expression to the fullest extent.
Exactly.
So amazing.
Wow.
Like we look at that poetry. But how did you get the name La Bruja? Please explain that to me.
It's interesting because it really wasn't that hard for me to come to the grips of La Bruja. I was going to call my business Delaney's Art. But once again, like at that time, I was still kind of like on edge of sharing a very vulnerable part of myself, because my real name is Delaney. So my Instagram name, you know, that's just like a image, you know, of my brand. And La Bruja, that translates in Spanish to the witch. So me being Dominican, that runs in my lineage. Like it's full of magic, full of like brujeria. So I kind of like combined both things that kind of represent me. I'm full of magic, and my magic is transmuted to my art. So I just put them two together and just put La Bruja's art. In
your Brown Sugar magazine, you explain that you basically practice that, right? Explain that, because I'm really intrigued in that. Like, explain to me that process, because you know.
Okay. So brujeria in English is witchcraft, and it don't have to be like the scary like black magic, like, oh, I put a spell on you. Like I feel like that's like a very taboo thing that we all kind of like think.
It's a stereotypical type of thing too.
Yeah, it's very stereotypical. I just feel like you can do anything with intentions, and that alone is magic. Like that could be brujeria, that could be witchcraft. Like us communicating right now, the intention of this podcast interview is to put it out there and connect with other people. Like I feel like there's magic alone in that. So when it comes to like me just creating my art, like I make sure I'm very intentional as to why I'm creating. Like I make sure I cleanse my space a lot. Like I'm very intentional when it comes to my mind space as well. I know a lot of artists create when they're sad, create when they're mad, but I can't really do that. I got to make sure that I'm in the right headspace and able to connect to the right people. And, you know, my art always transmutes different messages.
Okay. Now, question. Do you believe in different realities? Like, do you think that this is the only reality that we exist in? You don't believe? You believe so?
Yeah, I think there's many different realities.
Because sometimes I look at my hands, I'm like, yo, I'm really alive right now. And is there a chance there's another me out there or another existence of me? Like, how do you feel about like alternate realities and stuff like that?
It's very interesting. That's a very like dense conversation, but I do believe that there's different dimensions out there. There's another version of me right now, probably wearing a purple shirt instead of a black shirt. It's kind of
small differences, right?
Yeah, it's kind of trippy to think about, but I believe that we are in this reality right now because of choices and decisions in life. If I didn't choose to do art and I chose to do photography, I probably would be behind the camera right now. So it's kind of trippy, but I like it. Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you do custom work for people and they are happy with the finished product, how does that make you feel as an artist?
Oh, that makes me feel very euphoric. It makes me feel very appreciated. And I just feel very content that people are just connecting with my art style. Because there's tons of different artists out here with different art styles, constantly changing too. But the fact that there's people out here really connecting and loving my work with what I did with my own brain and my hands, it makes me feel very appreciated, and I'm always grateful for every single piece because I put a lot of intention into all of them.
So like whenever someone gets a canvas of like a custom work of their dog or like their baby and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like it makes you feel happy inside. Like, okay, I did a great service today.
Yeah.
I did a great job.
It makes me feel very warm.
Okay. So whenever you're creating, right, or you're in need of a new art piece, what environment, what do you surround yourself with? Like what type of things do you do like to basically get yourself in that mood to create?
It's pretty simple. I would just be in my room, and I also don't create like on desks. I like to create on the floor because that keeps me very grounded, literally. I do a lot of my work on the floor, and anything that I could do with my hands, you know, that sets the tone for me alone. But anything else really other than that is just, I just make sure that I like cleanse my space. I use like a, have you ever heard of Florida water?
No, I'm not too informed about that. What is that? Explain that to me.
So that's it's agua de Florida in Spanish. So it's basically like kind of like a cologne, but it's in like a bottle. You can use that for like wiping down surfaces, and it's like kind of like a spiritual practice as well.
Can you drink it?
No.
But it's called water though.
No.
So if I drink it, what's gonna happen to me?
No, it's just basically. No. I would highly recommend you not to drink that.
So the water just like to clean.
Yes, okay. It's like it's on the bottle. It's cologne. You don't really like. You can put it like on yourself, I guess, but it's more so just external things. Okay. So you can wipe it on like your windowsills, the floor. Since I paint on the floor, I make sure I wipe my floor. That's the only thing that really like sets the tone for me.
Because I've seen on your page that you do recently you did a painting sip, right?
Yeah.
How was that experience like for you? Because I've never been to one. I always wanted to go to one to get not drunk, tipsy, and draw to my imagination. Like, how was that experience like?
My painting sips are very magical. That was my second one, and I was just very grateful that I was able to attract that much people compared to the first one, because I do painting sips every August.
So it's annual.
Yes, it's an annual one, and it's a celebration of life, love, the people that I connect with, and of me launching my business. So I launched my business August 13th. So that experience for me, the second one was just, I was just on a rush. Like I had so much like adrenaline, and it really was just beautiful. Like I was able to see everyone's faces and think back to the time when I met every single one of them as I was painting.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's dope.
it was very, very beautiful. I can't really, words are the service.
Has anyone ever gotten drunk at the paint ship or no? Okay,
No.
just tipsy a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah, just like tipsy, just getting fun, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
And I also don't really drink myself either.
Yeah.
So for that event alone, like I make an exception, and I don't like people like getting too drunk or whatever. Like
Playing with the paint, start throwing
right.
shit.
I don't condone no violence
That's
at
crazy.
all.
That's crazy. That's amazing though. I kind of want to go to your next one though. This
You
upcoming
should.
August.
You
Where's it gonna be
should.
held? It's gonna be held in Brooklyn.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not as of yet. I just know that it's gonna be here in New York.
Let me know. I'll be there for sure. Cause
Yeah.
you know, first one, no guarantees. I might get tipsy and do something beautiful. You know.
Right.
I might be like a person that I don't know actually. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, you're gonna come if you find out.
Got you for a fact. But in your art, there are a lot of depictions of like woman empowerment, right? And like embracing your feminine side as a woman. Is there a connection between like your feminine side and spirituality? Explain that for me.
So I like to consider myself divine feminine, and also the divine masculine too. I'm really big on duality, yin and yang, and yeah, like embracing my feminine side. As of late, I've really been trying to receive love, and not being so like in survival mode, because I feel
defensive?
like and defensive because of like experiences, and I feel like every woman could kind of relate to that. Like our feminine nature is naturally to be very soft, to be receptive. A lot of people say submissive, but I feel like it's more so just being receptive. So yeah, that ties into a lot of my art, because I embody femininity. So that's gonna be a reflection of that.
Was there ever a point in time where like you, because I seen on your page you drew like a woman, and like she had like, I don't know if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, like different light beams.
Oh, yeah.
And she was naked, right?
Yeah.
And that to me itself was like, you know, and another one too was like just different like vaginas.
Yeah, well,
So explain that. Explain that.
yeah. So that first one is called Kundalini Serpent, and that woman, she has the 7 chakras. There's the 7 energy
Going
centers
down her body.
Yeah, so it's from the top, which is your crown, all the way to your root. We have much more in our bodies. We have many different pressure points in our hands and our feet. But that one is mainly just really embracing like your darkness, or like the dark feminine side of you. Like the serpent, you know, people see a snake. If you see a snake right now, you're not gonna really embrace it.
I'm running away.
You probably
I don't
run
like
away.
snakes.
Yeah, exactly. But that alone, that is basically just embodying to embrace the dark feminine side, to tap into all centers of yourself. And then the vulvas, that's kind of like self-explanatory. It's a whole lot of, you know, source energy. That one is called I Am Source. And it's a universe inside of the big vulva, because that's where we all come from.
Definitely. Do you believe that like the best work comes out of vulnerability, like you explained to me from before?
Yeah, I believe so for sure. I feel like when you most vulnerable, you just create, and then afterwards you look at things and you're like, oh, you know.
Because me personally, whenever I create either like music or just art piece, I have to be in a state where I don't know why it's weird to me, where I have to be sad. I have to be sad for me. Like I remember my heartbreak in like 12th grade. I created like, to me, Praise is like the most fire song I ever made. Like it was depressing, but it was fire as hell. And recently something happened in my life where like I just like went on my phone. I started going on this art app thing. I created a whole bunch of art, and I was literally feeling the emotion, and I let it happen. I didn't like trying to cancel it. I didn't try to, you know, like let it like stop. I tried to let it run. I was crying for me, and I do that. My best piece of art is like because like you said, words can't really explain how you truly feel inside, and it's only like it takes a matter of time where like you have to, you know what I'm saying, put it down and then look at it. And it's crazy about art. Like you can make something and you can think about it in one way, but then someone else could view it as the other way.
Exactly. That's the most like satisfying part about sharing art. That's what I've been finding too. Ever since I started sharing my art, I really been finding that you can interpret it one way, but art is subjective. So that song that you created with your heartbreak, somebody could listen to that and is also going through a heartbreak right now, but you may not be in that same space. You know, so everything is perspective. Everything is, you know, very like different for everyone. Everybody has a different way of looking at things. And I think that's very beautiful that we're able to do that as human beings and just have that outlet.
That's beautiful, honestly. But what advice do you have to aspiring visual artists that are watching this and want to become a visual artist, or are just kind of like insecure or scared to showcase their art? What advice do you have for them?
Oh man, let me think back to like if I was to talk to my old self. Just fucking do it.
Just do it. Stop being scared.
Yeah, I think fear comes from things that people may project onto us. But fear is not real. Like it really isn't. Like as long as you stay grounded, I feel like that's the number one thing that I stress to a lot of people is to stay grounded. And what I mean by that is to be in your body and be in your thoughts at all times, because a lot of the times we tend to like go on an endless like cycle when our thoughts overthinking it, and like that creates like anxiety,
negative thoughts, depression.
And everyone has that, like everyone has that. And I feel like as long as you are present with yourself and are aware, like okay, like I'm aware I'm thinking about this, but this is not really my thought. I feel like a lot of people now are experiencing that because it's just the state of the world too. Like we all kind of feel each other's energy and thoughts, but that would be the advice that I have. Just do it.
Because whenever, like, this is way off topic, but like you can go in a room, right, and you can like feel that the energy is off. You can feel like there's a weird vibe, like a kind of hostility, and like we just said, like you can, like everyone senses other emotions, right, and that goes into play. I used to heavily like mask my thoughts by smoking weed, right. And
same here.
Really? So it's like you know what I'm talking about to say. It's like you overthink. You say, fuck, I'm just going to take a split, smoke a split for me. And then after you feel good, but then you're not really helping the situation. But it's better off to be in a sober mind state to make clear decisions, feel me? And now it's getting better, but I'm saying like before I was scared to drive the truck at my job, right? But now I'm driving this shit. I was scared for no reason. And once you overcome and conquer your fears, you feel me, it's like the possibilities are endless, you feel me? And like you said with your mural, you were scared to your friend. What the fuck is this big ass wall? What am I? But guess what? You conquered that shit. And high five, first of all. That was amazing. Thank
you.
Amazing.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I feel like everybody goes through fear at some point. But I do believe that we be our own barrier. Like we kind of like block our own blessings. And as artists, like we are our biggest critics. Yes. But once you just like kind of ground yourself and be like, like I'm gonna really do this shit. I'm not gonna let fear get in the way.
Copy.
I feel like I look at fear as like an invisible wall now. Like I could just go through that shit. Anything is possible.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I want to go to space one day, and I think that's possible.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can. You already did in a different reality.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm an astronaut.
Right, exactly. It's so funny because when I was younger, I wanted to be an astronaut too.
For real?
Yeah. That's okay.
I don't know, but I'm not answering the phone. You said to be an astronaut?
Yeah, when I was younger, you know how like they have you fill in these things like what's your favorite color and like in like first grade. Yeah. I put down astronaut one time.
I wanted to be in the army, but this is the bad side of the internet. I came across a video of a soldier like getting shot, and that just like nope.
Yeah, you didn't want that shit no more.
Yeah, honestly, but I'm still hoping to be an astronaut because you know that's a beautiful ass job. Just
also,
to look at the stars.
Don't hope, have faith.
Have faith, definitely.
Yeah, I learned that from Jim Carrey. You know Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
So Jim Carrey is amazing.
He doesn't act anymore, doesn't he?
I think he does like here and there. He do what he want though.
Yeah, because he's at that point where he's like successful enough.
He could just chill. But there was something that he was saying where with the word hope, like hope is kind of like you begging for something, But when you have faith, it's more so like it has already happened and it's set in stone. So I try to like tell people, like whenever I hear people say like I hope, I try to like have them have a different like perspective of it.
And kind of manifest it in a little bit, in a little way. That's dope as hell.
Yeah.
But honestly, thank you so much for popping out to the RaineCast.
No problem.
Make sure and check out her work. Her website link will be linked below in the description. Go get a damn custom painting. Go get a custom painting right now. This is amazing. Thank you once again.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
For sure. And it's been your boy Rain. Until next time, y'all. Peace the F out. Yeah. Amazing.
Yay.